Welcome back and welcome to my February TBR. I'm sorry this is a little bit late, but there was like loads of videos that I wanted to upload at the end of January. So February TBR comes to you on the 6th of February. I also just want to say before I get started, thank you very much to all of my subscribers. I've just hit 200 subscribers, which might not seem a lot to some people, but it means an awful lot to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I love getting comments from you. Thank you for all your likes and sharing my videos and sharing my channel. I really appreciate it. And it's lovely to have so many of you on board. BookTube community is fabulous, and I love the fact that I can come on here and talk about books with other people, and it makes it a joy. Yes, so small apology, as well as this video being quite late. A lot of the books I want to read this month are going to be on my Kindle, so I'm going to be talking about them, but as always, I will have my February TBR blog post linked down below, as well as links to all the books down below. So if you want to find out more about them, you can either click on that blog post or you can click on the individual books links. So yeah, a lot of them I'll just be like, it's coming out and it's going to be on my Kindle. So yes, sorry about that. So let's start off by going through the February releases that I want to read, which are, as I say, all on my Kindle. So I'm not going to be holding them up because I'll just be holding up a blank Kindle, but Kindle books, because I have copies from NetGalley. So as I say, click on the link if you want to see more description or covers or information or pre-order these books. The links will all be below. So first of all, a book which I have already read and is reviewed on my blog, and that is Random Acts of Kindness Part 2 by Victoria Walters. I read Part 1, which was released in December. It was just so heartwarming and gorgeous, and as of making this video, I have already read this one because it was released on the 5th of February in the UK, and so I've reviewed it already on my blog, so I'll leave a link to that below and you can find out more information about that one there. Then the next book, which I am currently reading on my Kindle, I'm hoping to get it finished today. It is released on the 8th of February in the UK and on the 13th of February in the US, and that is Surprise Me by Sophie Kinsella. I don't know why I've held off reading this book for so long. I got it from NetGalley on my Kindle ages ago, and I have no idea why I haven't read it. I do like reading books close to the release date so that, you know, we can all get excited about them online. I'm not going, oh, I'm reading this amazing book, but you've got to wait 3 months to read it. I'm reading this amazing book. It's released on Thursday in the UK and next Tuesday in the US. And, oh, I'm loving that. Planning to make a full review video, hopefully going to pop that up on Thursday, so definitely look out for that one. Make sure you're subscribed so it falls right into your subscription feed. Then also released on Thursday in the UK is Our Little Secret by Claudia Carroll. If you haven't read any Claudia Carroll before, I really recommend this author. She's an Irish author, and she is hilarious in person, and it translates completely into her books, but her books also have this amazing kind of like warmth and kind of, you know, female empowerment to them as well, and I do love her books. Sometimes they have a little bit of magic to them as well, and sometimes it's just a magical read. Then moving on to my next release would be, sorry, I've got my diary here as well with my release dates. So the 22nd of February is a big release date. Again, this is all UK publication dates. On the 22nd of February, we have The Perfectly Imperfect Woman by Millie Johnson. Who else is super excited to read this one? Again, I'm like, I feel like I should have already read it because I've had it on my Kindle for a little while, but I want to kind of, yeah, be with everybody else as they're reading it along. Then we also have The Year That Changed Everything by Kathy Kelly, who is another fabulously funny. All these women are just like hilarious in person. They're amazing to chat to, and all of that goes into their writing. Millie Johnson, Claudia Carroll, Kathy Kelly, all fantastically funny. And The Year That Changed Everything is released on the 22nd of February and should be really good as well. And then one more that's released, no, sorry, two more that are released on the 22nd of February are the Wildflowers by Harriet Evans. Again, another author that I've, read her books over the years. I don't think I read her very most recent one, but I read one that was released as 4 parts, and then I read the 4 parts and then listened to the whole thing as an audiobook before reviewing it, and it was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, the Wildflowers also released on the 22nd of February. And then a little non-fiction to throw into the mix. We've got Misogynation, which is the new book by Laura Bates, and if you've been following this channel for a while, you will know that I am a massive fan of this author. I loved her Everyday Sexism project and book, and I loved Girl Up as well. I listened to Everyday Sexism as an audiobook, and I also have the physical book. And then Girl Up is amazing because it's got illustrations in it. It's probably my favourite book of 2017, even though I think it was released in 2016. It was released in 2016, so I'm very excited to read Misogynation. Then released on the 23rd of February in the UK, as always, is The Last Laugh by Tracy Bloom. A lot of you commented on my December wrap-up or November wrap-up, I think, November, where I talked about a book called No One Ever Has Sex on Christmas Day by Tracy Bloom, which is the third in the kind of No One Ever Has Sex on blah 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 series, and was really funny. So yeah, this is a new Tracy Bloom novel coming at you like a couple of months after her last release, which is fantastic for us that are Tracy Bloom fans. And I've seen some early reviews of this one and seen that it is shaping up to be another funny one. And then you might remember last week I posted a video about the 2018 quick reads titles. I have those on my TBR as well. I have already read, because obviously I pre-ordered, I've already read The Beach Wedding by Dorothy Coomson. That was like so different from what I was expecting it to be, but I read it in one sitting because it was 100 pages, and it was lovely to have a nice short read that had a beginning, middle and an end like thrown in there. I haven't posted a review of this one yet, but I will do. And then I have a guest review on my blog coming up for The Great Cornish Getaway by Fern Britton. My mum got a copy of that one, and so her review is going to be up on the blog soon. And I also have waiting for me on my Kindle to be read Clean Break by Tammy Cohen. So that's the February releases that are on my February TBR. However, as always, I'm not just sticking to the February releases. I'm going to throw some library books in there as well. So I do have some library books to show you. I never tend to put audiobooks on my TBR just because I put audiobooks in there as like a kind of an extra thing, like to kind of be listening to along with whatever I'm reading. And I generally try, doesn't always work out, but I generally try to pick something that's kind of different to what I'm reading. So for example, it's not on my February TBR, but I'm currently doing a reread of How to Be a Woman by Caitlin Moran, and I am loving it. So it's not on the TBR, but I am currently reading it, and it is February. And I've got another non-fiction one lined up that I'm quite excited to read. So yeah. There may be some audiobooks on my February wrap-up that aren't here, but that's what always happens. If you've been watching my TBRs and wrap-ups for a while, generally I go off them a little bit, and generally that's with audiobooks that have taken my fancy and I've been like, gonna listen to this now. So let's just throw in some library books very quickly. I've got 5 library books here that are also on my February TBR that I might want to read just because they need to go back to the library, obviously. The first one is The Nowhere Girls, which is by Amy Reed, and this was on my 24 and 48 TBR, and I didn't get around to reading it. I saw this one in a bookshop, and then I thought I would see if my library had it. They did, so I picked it up, and it's on my February TBR. Then we also have Vanilla by Billy Merrill, which my lovely friend Zarina has read and enjoyed. And this one, a bit like Sarah Crossan's books, is written in verse. And so it's bound to be quite a quick read. And so I thought this one would be good to have on my February TBR, because I can kind of like do a bit of Kindle novel reading and then go ahead and do some physical book verse reading. Then we have a book which I've had out from the library for a while, and I've renewed it a couple of times, and I've kind of not picked it up, but I might take this one. I'm going on a couple of plane journeys this month. Yeah, I know, I'm traveling a bit, and I've got this massively ambitious TBR. We're all thinking it. Let's, you know, elephant in the room. You know, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. Airports and aeroplanes, I'm doing one of the plane journeys completely alone, so I'll definitely have time to read as long as I don't feel really travel sick. But yeah, I feel like I might want to read this one on a plane, and this one is Nasty Women, but this is the US version of Nasty Women. You may recall a video I made about feminist reads where I read the UK version of Nasty Women, and so this is the same idea. It's lots of essays from lots of fabulous women on lots of different topics, and so this one I might try and do, you know, read a couple here and there throughout the month, because I really do want to read this one and not have to take it back from to the library, because I've reached my renew limit on it. I really don't want to do that, because I was very excited about reading it. So yeah, Nasty Women. Then we have The Dirty Book Club by Lissy Harrison. I know nothing about this. I saw somebody talking about it on Twitter and or Instagram, and I went, that looks like a book for me, and went and got it from the library. So that's that one. It's on my February TBR. And then another non-fiction. I was on the wait list for this one. I am a big Saturday Night Live fan. I watch it every week. It's the only program I watch on live TV. Obviously it's got news before it, so I watch a little bit of news, but it's the only thing that I watch on live TV. And as you know, Alec Baldwin has been portraying Donald Trump on SNL, and came out with this book, You Can't Spell America Without Me, which is the really tremendous inside story of my fantastic first year as president, by Donald J. Trump. And Alec Baldwin obviously is in the pictures of this one, and there are some amazing photos in here. And so I think this is going to be a funny read, and it's peppered with, yeah, a lot of pictures. So you've got some text in there, but then it's kind of, you know, spread out and funny, and non-fiction. Funnily enough, this book is really heavy. I don't know why. Like, these books are the same size, but this book is massively heavy compared to this book. What makes this one more heavy? Because it's like, oh, really heavy to hold up. So yeah, it's been a long video because my TBR is stupidly long, but you know, it's nice to have a pool of books to choose from. Obviously I want to get to all those fantastic February releases, but also, you know, throw in a library book here or there, and of course a wildcard audiobook. If you have any audiobook suggestions that you think that I would absolutely love, or that should be added to my March TBR, then please let me know in the comments. You know I am a massive fan of an audiobook, and as I say, I will be back. I'm hoping to have my review of the new Sophie Kinsella posted on Thursday, because Thursday obviously is release day in the UK, and yeah, I'll be back talking some more about these books, and I've got a couple of book versus film videos coming up for you soon as well, so make sure you are subscribed so that those hit your subscription feed. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and as I say, yeah, let me know in comments audiobook suggestions to add to my actual TBR for March, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you, bye.